Hey loves, I'm going to be getting very deep in this video, but before we get there, I'm just going to let y'all know that I can't have what I'm fixing to say clearly like, this is what this video is about. So if you're interested in watching it, I'm sorry I can't do that. Anyway, what I am going to do though is I'm going to be talking about very personal things that's not personal for the others. It's just my personal experiences that involves relationship, that deals with people that are literally trying to get you to harm yourself by ending your life. That was the recent relationship that I was with. And I will explain all of that and more with different things in a minute because my son wants a bath. He's nonverbal autistic if you're new to my channel. So basically I have to bend over backwards and do what he needs. So I will be back, hopefully, if I can, and I'm going to try to make this video as best as I can. But like I said, I can't go into detail what all it is, but I will go as much as I can, because some reason I'm guided very strongly to talk about this right now. So whatever the reason is, it could be for my twin flame path, maybe there's something, or for other twin flames, or somebody that's going through this right now, or whatever the reason it is, there's a reason. So I'm trusting it, and I'm going to talk about it. So I will be back, hopefully. And hopefully I can focus, so we'll see. Because all day, like, even the video that I made earlier, like, he just was not, him and my animals, they were just like, nothing, the neighbors, everything, it was just like, interruption, 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 and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And so, real quick though, one thing that's been on my mind too is that a lot of what's going on lately with me too is breaking things down. So, relearning, like piecing puzzle pieces together. And that's what some of this is that this will help you if you're dealing with somebody that's dangerous, to know kind of maybe some of the signs and what to watch out for and things like that. So, my personal situation is because, and people are just going to go, blah, 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 whatever. Sorry. No, I'm not, no, trust me, if I had it all, I would be living in a whole different way. Things would be different. But it's not even that. It's, especially when you're on a twin flame path, you're going to grow. And you're going to, he's actually trying to clean his own self by himself this time. Yes, I see that little man. He's like, Mom is not doing it. I'm going to do it. Yes, Mike, that's his aggravated. It's aggravated but excited at the same time sounds. Yes, little man, I'm fixing to be there. And so, totally. I'm going to have to just re-listen to the ending and then I'll come back and say what I was trying to say. Hopefully. All right. I think I know where I was at. I was talking about that I'm on a twin flame path and that I'm going through a lot of dismantling, breaking down, relearning, redoing, figuring things out, almost like a Mercury retrograde mixed with a whole bunch of other things. Anyway, it's just nuts. But anyway, it's breaking me down to what I'm supposed to be aligning with now and all of that. So what I was trying to say is that I am somebody that, how do I say it? I mean, there's just no way to say it. It's just, like I said, I don't care anymore. People are going to think what they're going to think. I don't care. So, thing is that I can be taken care of because it's not an inheritance anymore. It's where basically if something happens a certain way, then I can possibly get lucky and live for quite a few years or whatever, depending on the amount and this, that, and the other. So, the person that I was with knew the situations. And when we met, I didn't have any interest in him because he was trying to get with my friend, or ex-friend at the time, or a friend. Never been a friend. She should have always been an ex-friend. Never been a friend. Anyway, whatever. Okay. So, he was trying to get with her. And so basically I ended up where I was just getting so tired of it. Like through all the years, I've watched what she does to these guys and how she was. And it's just not in my nature, not morally right, and just a bunch of BS. Anyway, so finally I had enough and I was like, okay, I'm just going to let you know, because I could tell he was already unstable, like the feeling that I got from him, and plus the way he was talking, like, this is what I've been through, he mentioned a little bit. And so I was just like, I got to let him know, I have to be honest. And so I was trying to let him know, look, not only is she trying to be with you, but she's also trying to be with 2 other people at the same time right now. Like, she's always done that. Anyway, it's a long story with that. So I was trying to do the right thing, let him know that. So he had came the first time, and then I told him that over the phone. And then all of a sudden he just magically wanted to come back. And I'm like, oh, great. So he comes back with her and claims that it was because of the way I smiled and this, that, and the other. Anyway, so one thing led to another. And the point is that the whole time I was being guided. But at the time, I was still trying to learn intuition. I was still trying to learn, like I was trying to learn a lot of things at that time. And so there was so much going on. I was trying to learn crossing over spirits, releasing spirits, cleansing the house. You know, it was just so much that I was going through. Like, finally, I was clearing my path. And so, and I was big time on my twin flame path. I had wrote a thing down with some sigils, drew on it, had it as a crystal grid, all kinds of stuff. And so, or I put it underneath the crystal grid that I had made. I had like a pretty little altar and everything for it. And so I've been in search for my twin flame. Okay, there's a long story for that, but when I was a kid, I even wrote it down too on my blog. I connected with him. He was in spirit still because he wasn't born yet. And so I'm the older twin flame. And so he was in spirit and everything. And so he was guiding me, and it's a whole another story. Anyway. And so it ended up basically where he knew the situation and things like that. And so my mom, she had literally just passed like a few months before I had met him. And God, I mean, it was just like really bad timing. Like, everything was just the way everything was. Anyways. And so I was already grieving. I just wasn't clearly mentally there. I was still in a shock because it happened so fast. Like, there was no warning, no nothing. Like, the only thing is that basically here she is going to the hospital, and then that's it. I still, and others also had sense too that there was something that wasn't right that happened. And anyway, that's another story too. So, the point of that really is, what I'm trying to say is that she should be here still. Anyway, so that all happened, and it's just, I was like, well, maybe I'm meant to open my heart more. Maybe I'm meant to, I'm trying to figure, I was lost, confused, trying to figure out what to do, and I'm just starting to really dabble into spirituality and learning that kind of stuff and everything. And so, I'm pretty confident that it was my mom that was guiding me that whole time, letting me know how dishonest and how evil this man was. All of a sudden, we were in the kitchen one day, and there was just this clear vision of, I was at the window, and it was a past lifetime, and he was outside it. And when I was describing it to him, he saw it too at the same time. He was always, even still, the same type of energy, even into this lifetime, a dishonest liar, manipulator, narcissist, all kinds of stuff. And probably schizo and different things like that as well. And so, pretty confident. I don't know which names, because I don't know all of that kind of stuff, but I know for a fact when I read into it, I was just like, oh, he's that too. And he was the mommy thing too, where that weird obsession, that weirdness that moms and boys have. Anyway, he was that too. I don't remember the name of that. And because when I had mentioned, I was just like, because I didn't look into it until like a year or two afterwards. And when I had mentioned, I was like, oh, y'all's relationship, it's just kind of a little, unique. It's like, yeah, everybody tells me that it's, and you name the name and blah, 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 and that they're wrong. I'm like, okay, whatever. Anyway, so what ended up happening, we're going to get to the point. So what ended up happening is, like I said, I think my mom the whole time was guiding me and letting me know, like, hey, this is dangerous. You need to get him away from you. But the only reason why I had to get here, I had to move here out of my mobile home. And that was with his help and everything. And so we weren't supposed to really be together. I think it was just, I needed to get here. I need to get away from the situations over there. And so, and Michael too. And so it's not, that's another story. But anyway, so, I needed to be able to get here to further and deepen my spirituality and do different things. And it just had to be this way. Anyway, so I think that was the only reason why they decided to probably put him on my path, was to, like I said, help get me to over here. But now it's like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here. And now I got to figure out the next steps, but we'll see about all that when the time comes. Hopefully I can be here a little while longer, at least. We'll see. So I'm going to try to at least do the, if I can save up enough to at least maybe pay for one more year of the land tax, and then that'll probably have to be it. But I'm hoping to have enough time to be able to go through things, pack things, or whatever. Now that I don't have sanitation service, I'm just going to have to pretty much, and I made a video for that, and I'm going to be putting that on my YouTube channel as well. So I got some old videos, and I'm going to be piecing together and making that next. But it's going to take me a little time. But anyway, so I give like helpful tips about the sanitation thing. It's like bad timing, because I was just about to start going through things and throwing out what I don't need that's broke or whatever, that kind of thing. Sort things out and all that. But anyway, I'm just going to have to do it a little differently now. That's just all it is. Like, I'll figure it out too. Just like I figured out how to burn and this and that, like all these steps, I'll be figuring this out too. Anyways, sorry, I'm not able to focus that well today because I'm tired, and my little man, like everything, it's just been like nonstop distraction and just keeping me like all over the place. And then unfortunately I had some fast food stuff, not fast food, it was a restaurant, but of course it's not purified water and things like that. So it like really races my brain, and it's crazy. Like I can't focus and all of that. But anyway, like I usually do, one day I'll make a good video. Because right now I am all over the place. I got too much to get done by myself. So anyway, okay, so the dangerous part, I apologize. See, that's why I stopped making videos, is because he tore me down so much and silenced me so bad and made me get off complete track. Like I totally was giving up spirituality. I totally was just, it got serious, and that's the reason why I'm making this video. This is very serious stuff that happened that I don't want others to experience. And if they are, they need to get out. Like, please get out of it, seriously. Because it's not going to get better. You're not going to be able to change him. You're not going to be able to change her, blah, blah, blah. It won't, okay? You'll see where I'm going at with all of this. Like I said, this is a dangerous situation. And it's so silent that you would think that, like I said, while I'm going through this, I'm thinking that it's just my head, that I'm just thinking these things, and I'm making things up, or just, there's so many TV shows that are like, you know what I mean? Like it just doesn't feel real. And I bet if you talk to people that have been in situations like this, they'll probably say the same thing. It just don't feel real. Anyway, so my health was extremely bad at that time. I don't know what was going on. I can guarantee it had something to do with autism or something, because when I moved here and everything, after a while, like I almost became like my son, literally nonverbal. And I think it was because of too much sugar and some other factors, like the things that I was eating, like fast food and, different things like that, because I would try to cook, but he just complained. I would try to, it just, like I said, it was just too much. And then to be slammed on the twin flame path, like right after too. And I'm like, dude, can I literally make it through this? Like, seriously, can I make it through this? Because for those last few years, like almost pretty much the whole time with him, I literally wanted to be gone. I did not want to be here no more. I did not want to exist. I didn't want to feel what he was putting me through. And anyway, so, it gets so dangerous with these people because they know how to manipulate. They know how to mess with your emotions. They know how, they tear into every aspect of you, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, like all of it, Anyway, so, he took advantage thinking that probably that I was slow or whatever, and I wasn't. It was because of my health. And so he was starting to blatantly pretty much just make it obvious, almost to a degree, in a way, what he was doing. And like I said, it's because of, at the time, well, it wasn't, like I said, inheritance anymore. Once she passed, it just, like I said, it's a story. It's its own thing. I'm not going to go into, it's just TMI. So he knew the situation and everything. And so it got to the point where my mom was, I'm pretty confident my mom was guiding me, letting me know. And I was starting to pay attention. And you'll notice that, like, at that time, you'll get snippets and stuff and guidance and everything. Pay attention to it. And then if you really finally get that strong nudge, that guidance, because sometimes the universe and stuff will step in. And finally, that's what happened, because he was not leaving. And I was like, get out, leave, go, bye, shoo, leave me alone, go, go, go. You know, and no, I mean, he was just fighting me tooth and nail until finally his health got so bad. He got into the hospital. I'll explain all that in a minute if I can. But like I said, I'm not going into complete detail. But anyway, and the person is Aquarius. So if you know zodiacs and you know how, and I'm not saying that, I'm saying like somebody that's narcissist, that's those kind of things, on top of Aquarius that has the personality of already, the way that the mental is, you'll just have to read into and all that. Anyway, so, basically it ended up where, like I said, he knew the situation and what he was trying to do. I'm just going to say it all instead of going into detail. Oh, that's what I was trying to finish. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm like all over the place. You'll get little snippets. Pay attention to them. Like I said, the universe finally got it to where he'll leave. I'll get to there in a minute. But afterwards, what you want to pay attention to too is that all of a sudden everything's going to come in at once. Now, I can't give you a day, can't give you time, can't give you any of that. It's just going to happen. And when it happens, pay attention to it. Because it's going to be like boom, 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 boom. And you're going to be like, oh yeah, oh my God, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh wow, it was that? Da, da, da. You know, it's just going blah, 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 blah. And it's going to come in extremely clear like that. That's your answers when that happens. Pay attention to that, okay? Because that's going to be a lot of what's going to help you also to keep you to not get back with the person if you don't allow your emotions and certain things to take over. Because maybe you do love the person. Me, like I said, from the get-go, I knew something was off. And like I said, I had been guided the whole time, but I was still learning my intuition, learn all that. Anyway, so, but yeah, I mean, the whole time it was just like, don't, and like I said, I think it was just because I needed help to move here. And then now I need help to anyways, we all help each other out, period, but in this situation, this is a little different, what I'm talking about. And so the point is, I'm just going to go ahead and say it as straightforward, but because I still, even though all this happened to me, maybe, he could change for somebody else or whatever, you know what I mean? So I just don't want to put everything out there, but it don't matter because nobody knows anybody and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so, point is that he was trying to set it up basically to where I was mentally losing it, just like he did with his ex. He had somebody before me that it ended up where her 2 kids got taken away by her mom. Wonder why. And, like I said, every little thing was just leading up like, okay, this is weird. This is starting to kind of piece together, even in my situation, He was just like, yeah, she lost it. She mentally lost it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I see why. Cause, you're making me mentally lose it. And, so she finally did, unfortunately, and all of that. And anyway, so he was trying to hurry up and marry her as well. And same thing with me. He was trying to hurry up and marry me. She also had an inheritance. She also came from a rich family, blah, blah, blah. She also had a sports car, blah, blah, blah. Like everything lined up. And so, but I think they did heavy drugs and different things like that and everything. Anyway, so what he was trying to do is make me mentally lose it. Because the way he talked about it, he was like, well, if anything ever happened to you, I'll try to take care of Michael as long as I can, but then I'm going to have to put him into a nursing home or something, blah, 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 because I can't take care of him, blah, blah, blah. What he would have done is he probably would have got the money, got the money, put him in a nursing home, hightailed it somewhere else, and then there she wrote, while I'm in a grave. So, he had a past, like I said, with his previous ex, and I don't know how many others. And then he had already, I could tell when he was telling the story that it was part defense, but I think it was part, what is it actually like if I do this? He had off somebody, but it was supposed to be defense. And so he already had me scared because of that. I was just like, especially when he told me that, I'm like, oh man, that's when everything changed. I was just like, what do I do? Because this person literally is crazy. I mean, literally unstable, literally crazy and everything. I mean, like I said, I never experienced in my life, like, it was so horrendous with my son's father, the things that I went through with him, that it was horrendous in other ways. And then this one was horrendous in these type of ways. And so, yeah, so if you have a hunch that you're with somebody that could possibly take your life, and for whatever reason, whether it's money, whether it's children, whatever the reason is, and you have this hunch, this video might be resonating with you for whatever reasons. Just listen to your guidance, pay attention, and listen to what you're supposed to do, because these situations are dangerous. And I'm just going to be honest. Unless you really feel that there actually is help out there, because they're going, I'm supposed to be saying that, call the numbers and there's a hotline and this, that, and the other, and you'll have help. No, we have to do it ourselves. Just like I had to do with my son's father. I had to literally pretend to just be okay. And I almost lost it. Like, anyway, so there's a lot that I've been through. I don't know. Like I said, there's reasons why I'm mentioning this. And, I just wanted to be able to say this to help others that are possibly in situations like this. And I hope that you're not, because, these are dangerous situations. And especially these times are dangerous times too, unfortunately. And so, just, you'll have to do everything slowly, cautiously. Be careful who you tell, because they could go back. Like, you're going to have to listen to your intuition, period, throughout this. That's the one thing that I had to learn throughout the whole thing, was you have to listen to your intuition. And that's why, for me, it gives me a little rest now that I'm on a twin flame path. And usually it's not 100% perfect, but if both twins are actively working on it and trying to work on their soul path, their mission, their union, this, that, and the other, like literally, their inner child, healing, everything that they can do. It helps to where I don't, it's a less chance of ending up in toxic relationships and things like this where it's dangerous. And so finally I could kind of rest a little bit. I'm still a little worried because I have a friend a long time ago when I was preteen and teen, and I thought it was my son's father at the time. This was way back then. Anyway, not like that far of it still. And he told me, he was just like, cause he was a psychic and everything too, and a medium. And, he was like, be careful. Cause he was like, it's not, my son's father. He said his name and all that. It's not him. And I'm like, are you sure? Because the way he described him, I was just like, yeah, that sounds like him, And so it does concern me because, he was just like, well, this person's going to take your life, da, 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 da. And so I'm hoping it was because of this part. Cause like, he really was trying. Like, he was trying. Everything that he did, the way he said things, the way he would walk by and say things to hurt me, and just, he was constantly tearing me down, just nonstop, and it just, I never shut down so severe in my life, like even through my bringing up, and like that was horrendous as it was. And then my ex-husband, that was horrendous too. And then into this, and then right afterwards, the twin flame thing. I'm like, dude, what the heck? I need a breather. I need a break. Like, I'm done. Like, something's got to go in the right direction. I went through things, before that too, where I almost lost my life because these two guys, and it's a lot of things. Anyway, so it's just, don't let yourself get to that point. If you ever get to that point where you're literally losing yourself, something's not right. It doesn't necessarily mean they're dangerous. It could just mean it's an unhealthy, toxic relationship, things like that. Don't lose yourself. Don't let somebody have that much power over you to be able to literally make you lose yourself, make you forget who you are. And that's a part, that's where I'm grateful and thankful of this twin flame path, because it's helping me get back on track. It's making me more grateful and thankful again, and realizing what it is that, it saved me. That was one of the main things that I wanted to say too, is that it literally saved me. And if you're on a twin flame path, you might, if you had similarities of something like that too, it might have saved you as well. And so it's no joke. This path really is, when I first learned about it back then, everything was taught so differently back then about it. It was so different. And then everything that I'm learning about it now, it's hitting right on the nail. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what this is. And so this is not because at first you still question it and you're thinking is this really real? And, but you get deep into it and you realize it definitely is real. But anyway, so don't lose yourself. Don't let somebody have that much control over you. Do not do that. That doesn't show your loyalty. That doesn't show how much you love them. It does not. No, not if you're losing yourself. You can show your loyalty and love in other ways. Just don't lose yourself. But if you do, pay attention to the guidance, because you're definitely learning some things. And who knows, maybe you're going to be led also to a twin flame path too, but whatever the reasonings are, just pay attention and be guided. I don't know, some reason why I was guided to make this video tonight, and I know there's more that I need to talk about, and I'm going to be talking about more. And I feel finally now that I might make more videos like this, because he silenced me so bad that it was just people don't care what you say. You talk too long. People only want to listen to 1 or 2 minute videos. And he is right on certain aspects. But the way he did it was to antagonize, to harm me, to hurt me, to, like I said, it literally blocked my throat chakra. Just everything just got messed up. And all my chakras, I just, like I said, I wasn't even surviving or living anymore. It was just, I was just here. And, when you lose your spirit so bad that you still just, it's not that I was doing everything for him to please him or anything. It was not even just fear either. I've lived in that situation too with my son's father. But that's a whole different thing. It was more of just, I don't even know how to put the words. You're just there. It's just, he would be like, oh, well, I want this or whatever. Okay, here you go. Here. You're just dead. You're just not there, and anyway, so I feel there's going to be more about this. But maybe not just this topic, but other things. So now that I'm finally getting my voice back and I'm getting courage and other things as well, thank you, Twin Flame Path. There's going to be so much that I want to talk about, and I'm going to be learning too with y'all. So maybe there's things that you have to say, or something that you feel that, that could help somebody else, that you want to give inspiration for, or whatever. Please leave it in the comments, because I'd love to hear it. I want to communicate. I want to communicate again. I want to trust. I want to open my heart up again. I want to get connections going and stuff again, and feel alive and feel these connections and stuff, instead of just being so separated and just, you know what I mean? There's just no real genuine connections anymore. It's just we're here, hi, I just said a comment, bye. even if you get a comment. Like me, I just don't get comments. So anyway, it's like rare if I do, and I'm just like, oh, I got a comment, yay! Oh, I got a like. Oh, I got one view. But yeah, so I had to go through things too and realize, like, I don't care anymore. And I've been saying this for a while, but I really don't. I don't care if I get views anymore. I do care if it can reach the people that need it, though. But if it don't, then at least I tried. I can't fight algorithms. I can't pay money for all of that. I can't do any of this, So what I can do, and that's why I wrote my blog and everything and made the video last night also for that, is what I can do is different type of light working, twin flame type works, grid working, mediumship. There's other ways that I can do my union and mission as well, with light working and stuff. And that's whether I'm teaching like I do, or I, connect with my crystal grids with doing grid working, and I'm doing it in a collective consciousness way. So whoever, joins in gets to join in. They don't, but at least I'm doing stuff behind the scenes that is still actually helping in what I'm supposed to be doing. So, because I thought that I was like, well, maybe it's supposed to be that I'm only supposed to reach out to people and people are supposed to hear. No, that's not just, not all of us can do that. The ones that can, continue to do what you're doing, because at least you're reaching people and you're able to do whatever it is that you're needing to do. But the people like me, like I said, just will have to do it behind the scenes, like crossing over spirits or even animals, or communicating, energy healing, whatever that it is. Just do what you got to do. We don't have to wait for people to know about what it is that we're doing or hear what it is that we do. We can share our stories. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. But do people really listen? Do people really want to know about it? Do people believe it? It's just maybe educational, not educational, but more entertainment for them, maybe, like, oh, this is kind of cool. I'll just listen to it. It's just something new or something, whatever the reason is, but yeah, so if I'm meant to reach more people, maybe, at some point, maybe that'll happen. But if it don't, like I said, I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing now. I'll still do the crystal grids, and things like that, and just reach whoever I can and however I can, and do it behind the scenes. That's all that I can do, But yeah, so more videos to come. I know it for a fact. I might I'm still going to probably do the blog videos. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing. That's why I've been on halt for a while too, and I'm trying to do a lot of things here. I really need to get a lot of things here first done. As soon as I feel more settled in what I'm supposed to be doing, like with my gardening and other aspects, and then, like, because I'm working on the house and everything too. There's a lot that I'm trying to do. And the courses and other things. So I think I'm going to go ahead and continue with the courses, because I was almost kind of thinking no, better not. If I do end up making the Oracle cards, I'd have to figure out how I'm going to do it. Like, it would have to be, like, they're not cheap anymore. Like, it's just not cheap if you're wanting good quality. If you just want something, it's just not cheap. I'm sorry. So I will have to charge the price that I have bought them at. You're not going to get a deal. Period. That's just not how things go these days. Like, back then you could buy things in bulk and you could save money, but especially with these type of cards, they're just like, nope, you're gonna have to pay it at full price, blah blah blah. So it's pretty much the same thing. And so that's why I think a lot of people I'm noticing, I don't see a lot of cards and stuff anymore like there used to be. And everything's too costly. You got to pay to be able to do the artwork, and then you got to pay to this, and then you got to pay to that, and blah, blah, blah. It's just too costly. Anyway, so I might still do that. Who knows? I know that I will be doing the courses, I think. And I don't know. I'm still trying to figure everything out. I'll let y'all know along the way as I'm figuring it out. And maybe, what I'm learning too is that nothing's ever set in stone. So let's say, I'm guided to do courses. Okay, well, maybe my focus for 2 years is on that. All right. Maybe I'm meant to just focus on the collective crystal grids. All right, I'm going to focus on that for a year if I'm guided to, you know what I mean? Like, it changes. We're not meant to just steadily do something like we were taught to do. So trust your guidance and trust what you're meant to do. If it reaches people, it reaches. If it don't, it don't. You're not wasting your time. You're literally still doing energy that's for the collective, that is needed for, you know, what you're doing. And so, because it feels like you're a failure. It feels like you're unsuccessful when, you know, you're not getting comments or likes or, you know, purchases or whatever the reason it is, you know. It's like, am I doing something wrong? You know, at first you're going to go through all that kind of stuff. And it's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's just, you literally have to pay to be seen these days. You have to. Like, I've watched so many, like, musicians and other people too, you know, they're like, I had to literally save up $1,000 and then put that down. And then I got lucky enough that I got enough views for my video, and then it just took off. And, you know, there's different things like that, you know, that people can do. And so, again, you got to be paid to be seen. Either that, or you have to be doing interviews. You have to connect with people. You know, there's a lot of things that there's ways in, but not everybody has a luxury, and I don't have that luxury. So, I just have to do what I can. And like I said, what I'm guided to do at the moment is, you know, I'm gonna have to do everything behind the scenes, and then I'll slowly do what I just mentioned, what I'm doing. So same for you. You know, if that's what it is for you, then do that. Whatever it is, just, you'll get your answers. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, and I'm going to try to make more videos like this, but I'm going to try to keep them as short as I can. Unfortunately, this one I'm assuming is probably like 40 minutes because I had like a few minute video, or like a 3 or so minute video before this. So we're getting near, I think, 40. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this off, and I apologize for the lengthy video. Leave a comment. I would love to know your stories. I'd love to hear your suggestions, advice, encouragement, inspiration, whatever it is, you know. Like I said, let's have a genuine conversation, you know. And just, you know, if you want to share this video or whatever you think somebody could be helpful for, please do so. But I do know that I feel that it, for sure, whoever is watching this video, I feel that there's a few people that needed to hear certain parts of this, and that it will be helpful for y'all. And so just check it out and, you know, go from there. So my little man's already coming in here snoring, saying it's bedtime. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and end it, and I will see y'all in the comments, and we'll pretty much go from there. Much love, everybody, and bye for now.